Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 78 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat at 2047. As part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations and celebrations. December 5th every year is celebrated as International Volunteers Day. There are estimated 1 billion volunteers worldwide, around 70% volunteer informally, directly helping poor in their communities, while 30% engage through formal organization. Volunteerism takes many forms. Volunteers contribute through local initiatives, online platforms, and international assignments. Volunteers are resilient and adaptable. They often work in challenging conditions, bringing creativity, empathy, and endurance to their missions. So, volunteering is for everyone. People of all ages, genders, and backgrounds and abilities can volunteer. Every contribution matters. This year, under the inspiring theme for 2025, Every Contribution Matters, International Volunteer Day, IVD 2025, takes on historic significance as it marks the official global launch of the International Year of for Volunteers, International Year of Volunteers for Sustainable Development, IVI 2026. So the milestone following UN General Assembly Resolution 78 by 127, which calls for a worldwide movement to recognize and amplify the vital role of volunteers in accelerating progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals SDGs by 2030. Volunteers create a richer culture of service within their communities. They help bridge the gap between generations and support sustainable development. Volunteering allows us to work together across generations to achieve SDGs. Volunteering is an intergenerational cycle. So, International Volunteer Day, commonly known as IVD, is celebrated on 5th December every year. It started as an international observance mandated by the United Nations General Assembly in 1985. It is a day where volunteers are acknowledged and spirit of volunteerism is promoted at the local, national, and international levels. United Nations volunteers join IVD celebrations with UN volunteers and all volunteers across the world, amplifying the importance of people led solutions to our common challenges. Volunteerism is one of the most vital delivery mechanisms for social, environmental, and economic transformation, ensuring a lasting impact with its ability to change people's mindset, attitudes, and behaviors. People become actors of change and equal partners in the attainment of local, national, international progress towards sustainable human development and global peace. The United Nations Volunteers Program recognizes the shared universal values underpinning volunteerism: free will, commitment, equity, engagement, solidarity, compassion, empathy, and respect for others. The State of the World Volunteerism Report is a flagship United Nations publication that strengthens understanding of volunteerism, shows its universally scope and reach in the 21st century. Produced every 3 years, the SWVR examines the contribution of volunteerism to peace, the development based on specific theme. The latest edition of this WVR report, titled Building Equal and Inclusive Societies, shows that the ways in which volunteers and state authorities interact, collaborate, and partner are vital for the achievement of 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the Sustainable Development Goals. December 5th is also commemorated as World Soil Day, with the theme for this year, Healthy Soils for Healthy Cities. It can take up to 1,000 years to produce just 2 to 3 centimeters of soil. Up to 58% more food could be produced through sustainable soil management. Agriculture and agricultural production will have to increase by 60% to meet the global food demand in 2050. So our planet's survival depends on the precious link with soil. Over 95% of our food comes from soils. Besides, they supply 15 of the 18 naturally occurring chemical elements essential to plants. However, in the face of climate change and human activities, our soils are being degraded. Erosion disrupts the natural balance, reducing water, infiltration, and availability for all forms of life, and decreasing the level of vitamins and nutrients in food. Sustainable soil management practices reduce erosion and pollution and enhance water infiltration and storage. They also preserve soil biodiversity, improve fertility, and contribute to carbon sequestration, playing a crucial role in the fight against climate change. But when we think about soil, we almost always associate it with the countryside and nature. We rarely stop to consider that urban soil is also fundamental. So this World Soil Day 2025 focus on the urban landscapes with the theme Healthy Soil for Healthy Cities. Beneath asphalt, buildings, and streets lies soil that, if permeable and vegetated, helps absorb rainwater, regulate temperature, store carbon, and improve air quality. But when it's sealed with cement, it loses these functions, making cities more vulnerable to flooding, overheating, and pollution. Therefore, the day invites everyone, from policymakers to citizens, to rethink urban spaces from the ground up to build greener, more resilient, and healthier cities. World Soil Day, in short known as WSD, is held annually on 5th December as a means to focus attention on the importance of healthy soil and to advocate for the sustainable management of soil resources. An international day to celebrate soil was recommended by the International Union of Soil Sciences, IUSS, in 2022. Under the leadership of the Kingdom of Thailand and within the framework of Global Soil Partnership, FAO has supported the formal establishment of WSD as a global awareness raising platform. The FAO conference unanimously endorsed World Soil Day in 2013 and requested its official adoption at the 68th UN General Assembly. In December 2013, the UN General Assembly responded by designating 5th December 2014 as the first official soil day. In the last years, we have seen the use of drones really take off due to their key role in many different contexts. FAO is harnessing this potential to monitor the use of natural resources and increase sustainability, and even to tackle the recent desert locust outbreak in Western Africa. Soil Doctors, a farmer to farmer training initiative. The Global Soil Doctors Program is a farmer to farmer training initiative that aims to build the capacity of farmers on sustainable soil management while supporting national governments and stakeholders in addressing the needs of their rural communities. This online platform supports farmers, policymakers, development planners, agricultural extension workers, NGOs, private sectors, and any other practitioner stakeholder interested in transmitting the importance of soil as a vital resource. Today is also commemorated as Coats and Toys for Kids Day in US, which is celebrated on the first Saturday in December. Every year, it's about people coming together and creating a positive change. And what can sometimes be in an indifferent world. On CTKD, people donate cold weather gears like coats, boots, gloves, as well as toys to eligible families. This keeps kids warm and happy during the winter. Today is also commemorated as Finland Independence Day in Finland on December 6th, and Finns all over the world are ready to kick off their year celebration with a blast. While Independence Days of countries all over the world include numerous festivities, Finland is famous for memorializing their freedom from Russia in 1917 with a gala often held at Presidential Palace. The gala usually has over 2,000 invited guests, and it's also broadcasted live. There is also commemorated as Foundation of Quito Day in Ecuador, commemorates the founding of Ecuador's capital city, Quito, and takes place on December 6th every year. In this week leading up to a founding day, preparation for the Festas de Quito becomes during the week. Some public events such as parties, concerts, live shows, and exhibitions are often free for all. The ceremony involves a lot of fun activities, including parties and a traditional go-kart race. Despite such a tumultuous past, Quito is a vibrant and flourishing city with a rich history and culture that would fascinate both natives and foreign tourists. Fun, excitement, and lightheartedness are what categorize foundation of Quito Day celebrations. Today is also commemorated as Global Fat Bike Day, which has taken place on the first Saturday of December annually since 2012. So this year it falls on December 6th. It's a special day for the fat bike enthusiasts to celebrate it the best way they know, riding on their fat bikes. The day also falls on Saturday, mostly since it's popular day for riding and allows people to go on longer rides. But this is set in stone, so you can choose ride on any day depending on your commitments. You and your fat bike have the entire weekend. Today is also commemorated as National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women in Canada on December 6th each year, informally called the White Ribbon Day. The day marks the anniversary of École Polytechnique massacre in 1989. As we reflect on the act of senseless violence that claimed the lives of 14 women, we emphasize our dedication to fighting the hatred that inspired the tragedy. The National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women in Canada honors victims of gender based violence and those who have died because of it. It is an opportunity to act and do our part to create a better world. We can overcome gender based violence by reflecting and learning from the past. Relating to survivors and speaking against violent behavior, the Canadian Parliament established the day in 1991 to commemorate the 1989 massacre to at Polytechnique Montreal, previously École Polytechnique de Montreal. As we mourn the deaths, we must also remember all those who continue to be victims of gender based violence. Canadians have constructed memorial sites throughout the country in response to the tragedy, ensuring that people are aware of the events, making society aware of how frequently violence against women occurs, and honoring the lives of those who have been killed. Every act of violence against women is motivated by a perception that women are less human than males. As a result, the National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women commemorates more than one massacre. It is a call for awareness and change in the face of male violence against women worldwide. According to the United Nations, 35% of women are victims of some form of sexual and physical violence inflicted by an intimate partner or non-partner. This day serves as a reminder of the danger of the power imbalance between men and women worldwide and that we have responsibility to do something about it. Today is also commemorated as National Miners Day in the US on December 16. Despite federal efforts to ensure safety working conditions for miners, they have one of the most difficult and dangerous jobs you can imagine. To recognize their efforts, Congress has declared December 6th National Miners Day. Our entire economy depends on them. So on this day, we should all take a moment to think about how many ways that miners play a role in our daily lives. Mined materials contribute to things like roads, houses, cars, and computers. We wouldn't be able to get much done without their hard work. So the Department of Labor's Mine Safety and Health Administration develops videos and blog posts to shine light on occupation, discover all the miners accomplish, whether it's quartz in Massachusetts or gold in California. Miners are working in your state. You may be surprised. Think about all on duty and daily luxuries we have that depend on mining, from our cell phones to the pots and pans we cook with. So much depends on miners. It is also commemorated as National Pawnbrokers Day in US. The word pawn comes from platinum, the Latin word for cloth or clothing. Pawnbroking history goes back thousands of years to the ancient Roman and Greek empires and China in the east. Pawnbrokers provide cash loans in exchange for goods and property as collateral. The pawnbroker returns the collateral after the person repays the loan with interest if clients don't pay up. They forfeit their property and the pawnbroker can sell it to recoup the loan. But pawnbrokers can also play a role of charitable organizations. In Padua, Italy, France can free the movement offered financial aid to people, giving them no interest loans for pawned items. The idea was to get people to make donations. The idea gained popularity in Italy and then spread to other regions in Europe. It might surprise you to know that musical instruments are among the most pawned items over the centuries. On Pawnbrokers Day, pawnbrokers often donate the forfeited instruments to schools or charitable organizations who need them, which allows children who wouldn't ordinarily have access to these instruments and the opportunity to use them. Take the model. But they weren't always considered heroes. From 1603 until 1872, an act was passed against brokers that aimed to undermine counterfeit brokers throughout the London. Brokers in this category were referred to as fences. In England, the Pawnbrokers Act of 1872 established regulations that protected pawnbrokers who unwittingly sold stolen items. It also established the interest rate on pawned items and general guidelines that define the industry of this day. Today is also commemorated as National Influenza Vaccination Week from December 6th to 12th in US especially, which is observed, is a gentle reminder for you to stay protected in the upcoming winter months. If you haven't already taken your vaccination shot, it's not too late. We encourage you to get your dose as early as possible. The season for flu is quite unpredictable. It can begin as early as fall and last up to spring. Conventionally, flu activity is at its peak during winter, and so public healthcare professionals, advocates, and communities join hands to promote flu vaccination. Many people tend to show cavalier attitude towards flu, dismissing it as a bad cold, but it's more than that. It can cause serious health complications such as bacterial infections or pneumonia. You can get you admitted to the hospital if not treated at the right time. The flu can even lead to death. To prevent such mishaps and to raise awareness, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention CDC created NIBW in 2025. There is also commemorated as National Microwave Oven Day, which takes place every year on December 6th to celebrate one of the most influential kitchen appliances. Microwave ovens serve as a variety of uses such as make popcorn, heating leftovers, melting chocolate and butter, and even heating water. These days, you can even make microwave fudge or cake. Ovens also use less energy than conventional ovens, sometimes up to 80% less. There's no doubt about microwave ovens change our lives for better. So it's no surprise that we have a day dedicated to celebrating these usefulness. So with this, we shall end today's commemoration. Thank you everyone for joining us. Before leaving, we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form that has been shared in the form of quotes. So see you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link with different commemorations and celebrations. Take care. Good night.